Hello everyone, this is Dr. Pete, and one of the videos that came up idea-wise was I teach at several schools, and one of them is transitioning to Canvas, and one of them had been with Canvas just slight amount of time. And so that brings up what I call, challenges. I mean, we're used to a certain way of doing things, a system, and we know we take this much time and we can click, 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 and we know how to jump around and get everything done in a quick way. In other words, we may have different, say a discussion post is similar, but maybe a paper is different. We have to type it a certain way in an old system, and now in Canvas it's a different way. So what I would recommend is that it's part of it is education. Take time to read what's going on, have the manuals with you. Nobody really wants to read them, and I'm one of them, but at least if there's a video, know where it's at, save it to your desktop. And so when you reach that issue, you can look it up, play the video, or read it and understand how to get it done. The other aspect to it is play with it like a sandbox. Get in there and click around, and maybe something you never use, but just click on it and say, okay, I didn't know that was there, or I know I can do this here, or this is how I grade, not grade, but submit grades, assignments, and all that. So you do need to take that time to learn it. So what happens is while we're under stress, we typically will say, well, it's the professor's fault, it's the school's fault, all that. Well, no, just take time and do it. I have the same challenge in the school. Even though I know Canvas, they have a little bit of a different tweak to it. So I have to go in and say, okay, I know this is what I have to do in general, but I still have to work through the way they do it, and it takes me more time, and I get frustrated because I'm used to operating very quickly through the old system. I learned how to do it, mastered it, and now I'm being told I got to do it a different way. And so we all face the challenge. But what I do for myself is to put more time. I say, well, I might not have a lot of it, but I might as well, because if I don't, then I'm going to get frustrated, and then I'm going to spend that same amount of time, but instead of a calm time, I'm going to be very frustrated, angry, and upset. And then that's going to cause me a lot of issues, and I'm going to make mistakes or vent, and be less than what I can be, and less than the quality that you deserve. So I do the same thing all the time. In the Canvas system, if you are in one of these classes or you relate to it, you can relate to this issue in general. If it has the ability to put a picture into the learning management system, then put a picture in. People do like to see who they're talking to. If you can't use pictures or say videos for discussion or say an introduction, then at least put the picture into your bio so people can say, okay, that's who I'm talking to. It's a real person, okay? Someone said, well, yeah, but then people can be biased and all that, and prejudiced. And I'm like, well, they can be prejudiced to a shadow figure that's gray and no one doesn't have a face, gender, nothing, and that can be just as discriminatory. In other words, someone might say, well, that person's lazy, or they don't seem to care, or they don't want me to know about them. And so that can be the opposite effect, right? So there's always a pro and con to things, but we're here to build community and to build a classroom. And we want people to be able to say, that's somebody, I read their bio, I see who they look like, and I might want to contact them and become a friend or a peer or develop a network. So you always have those considerations, but think about being on site. You're going to sit there and see your professors and talk to them, and the same issue happens no matter what, it's good or bad, but it's the way we present ourselves and professionally and all that. And I'm pretty optimistic most professors would really appreciate it, and they like the fact that a student thinks enough to let them know a little bit about them, and also a picture or maybe even a welcome video. So it's just some ideas, but at the end of the day, just stay calm, don't get frustrated. If you have problems with a new learning system, tell somebody. The professor may be going through the same thing, so there's no worries with that. So it's just a short video on that, and just really appreciate it, and best of luck.